From ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 in Southern California. This is BizNinja Entrepreneur Radio with your host, Tyler Jorgensen.
Hey, welcome out to BizNinja Entrepreneur Radio. I'm your host, Tyler Jorgensen, and I'm very excited to be chatting with Tommy Rodriguez today. Tommy was introduced to me through another friend, and I'm really excited to learn about your entrepreneurial journey and about what you're working on. Welcome out to the show, T-Rod.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me, man. It's definitely an honor to be on here.
Awesome. So let's see. You, if someone looks you up online at TommyRodriguez.com, they learn that you do Amazon, but and that you help other people do Amazon. However, something tells me that's not the beginning of your journey. When did you first realize that you are an entrepreneur?
You know, for some reason, I feel like I've always had that hustler's mentality. I've always had that go-getting attitude, even when, prior to 7 years ago, becoming self-employed and becoming an entrepreneur. It's, I feel like I've always had it in me, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I mean, hell, I didn't even know about making money online. I mean, when I was first introduced to this stuff in 2012, I was like, I was broke, but I was also skeptical. But, back then I knew that you couldn't do both things, right? At some point you got to take a chance. It's pretty much what I did back in the day is when I started my entrepreneur journey, I was just tired of being broke, right? I was sick of tired of bouncing a new job every 3 months, every 6 months, getting laid off, quitting, even getting fired. And I guess I was just, for me, like my journey started in 2012, March 4th, 2012. I feel like that day was just yesterday, man. It goes almost quicker than your 20s. You know what I mean? And so for me, I got started on this journey just because, one, I was sick of being told what to do. I was sick of it. I was like, I'm not going to work this job and for $7, $8, $10 an hour being told what to do. Like, it wasn't worth it to me. Plus, obviously, I wanted my freedom. Right. But at the same time, I didn't know where this was going to go. I think most likely when we're first getting started on our entrepreneur journey, we can try to envision, manifest, and think, into the future of what we want to do, where we want to be. Really didn't think like that a lot in the beginning, but I knew that I was just trying to make sure that I made enough money back in the day just so that I could stay afloat. Right. Because my daughter, who just turned 7 in the end of July of this year, that she was going to be born 3-4 months after I got after I started this journey. So my mindset was, if I can't support myself, how am I going to support another human being?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was my mindset. It kept me motivated, it kept me pushing. And I spent a lot of money I didn't have. I was willing to risk literally all my credit cards, maxing them out, going to events shortly after. My ex-wife at the time, my wife at the time, should I say, she thought I was crazy. Friends, family, everybody was like, oh, it's not going to work. What are you doing?
Right, of course not.
Save that money. You could use it for diapers and wipes. I'm like, but that's not going to make us any money. At the end of the day, I'm taking a chance. I'm getting myself out there. I don't know if it's going to work. But, I've used to even work on cars as a time mechanic just for a short time. And even back then, I still had to buy the tools, the wrenches,
right,
the bag, everything that I needed to learn how to change, for the tires and changing the oils and stuff like that. So for me, it was definitely way out of my comfort zone. But you can't connect the dots looking forward, right? You can only connect them looking backwards.
Right.
So sure. I believe everything that's happened in my life has happened in direct response to leading me up to the path that I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. So you knew, okay, here, basically, if I'm hearing you right, you said, I'm stuck. I don't want to just keep chasing job after job. I want to do something different. But your friends and your family, they didn't know how to do anything differently. They were invested in you as you were and in your that type of lifestyle. So the first thing you did was start trying to find courses and people that were seeing things differently, right? So you started investing in that almost just mindset shift.
Correct. I connected with one entrepreneur on Facebook. I didn't even have Facebook back in the day. I used Twitter a lot, right?
Right.
And that's actually how the guy found me, is he tweeted out with the software and the tweet appeared in my news feed, and it was a link, and it was like, make money at home, $200-300 a day. I'm like, what kind of BS is this? But I was still curious. So I clicked it. I checked it out. He had a picture of him and his girlfriend. He had a phone number. I called. And, obviously I got a real human being back then. And I was like, okay, so this is a real person. I'm not sure if it's the person behind the screen, but it's still a person that I'm seeing. So for me, it was just something that I knew I had to take a chance. And yeah, a lot of friends and family didn't really understand what I was trying to do. Hell, I didn't really even know what I wanted to do with that. I thought maybe it would just be a short-term thing.
Right.
But as I dug deep and I started connecting with other like-minded entrepreneurs and business owners, I realized, maybe I have a gold mine here.
Right.
Maybe I need to surround myself. So I did what most newbies do. I added a lot of new other entrepreneurs that I felt that was in that circle that were doing network marketing, CPA marketing, Facebook, whatever it is. I just started adding them just because I wanted to see what everyone was up to. I wanted to study, learn, even if they were all in different fields and different niches. So that's pretty much where I started. And it's crazy. It really is, man. It really is like, I literally, when I say I started from the bottom and I started this whole journey, like I wasn't spoon-fed, didn't have a lot of money. I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. I've been homeless at 17 years old. And now I just turned 32 this month. And it's just crazy to realize how far I've come, man.
So, man, you took this investment that you didn't have, right? Funds. And I've heard it said that those are the people that should be investing the most in themselves, is the people that really you're already broke, right? The worst thing that could happen is you get a little bit more broke and then you go belly up, but you're already belly up. So it's like, go all in on yourself and learn and educate and do that kind of thing. And what's funny is most of those friends and family that told you that don't spend that money. Had you been like, oh, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to get a student loan, they would have said, what a great idea. How good of you. And it's like, okay, you're going to go get 40 to 80 grand in debt, where you go and spend $2,000 to $3,000 on a credit card and to like invest and learn it yourself. They freak out, but that's a whole other tangent. Here's the thing. So you do this, you take these steps. What was the first thing that you did to make money as an entrepreneur?
Besides adding a bunch of other entrepreneurs, I'll be honest.
What was the first business you started? Did you go right into Amazon or did you try a bunch of other stuff first?
I actually started with a thing called CPA marketing. And for some people, if you don't understand that terminology, it just stands for cost per acquisition. It basically means driving traffic. There was a company back then, you might even know if you've obviously been in the game for long enough, as well as me, it was a company called Instant Rewards. And I believe I even still have my YouTube video out there. It was a company like Instant Rewards, Z&Z, and it was basically a company that had all these free trials. Netflix, Blockbuster, when Blockbuster was still around, credit commerce trials, all these things. And they basically saved a lot of money from advertising a lot on TV, and they paid referrals to bring them clients or potential people who might want to keep the service or try it out. You got paid just for people trying it out, right? So that was my first thing. But the thing is, when I signed up, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get eyeballs in front of it. I didn't know how to get traffic. I didn't know how to send traffic to my site. So the guy that I, linked up with, the guy that, kind of really showed me this entrepreneurship journey, making money online. I'm actually still even connected with this guy on Facebook. You know what I mean? And he's like, dude, you've come so freaking far,
Right.
And I told him, I'm like, how'd you get me though? So I know you tweeted to me, but did you how did you know to tweet to me? How did you find me? Because if you got me, then maybe I could do the same thing to get other leads that way. So he's like, yeah, I get the software. It's $500. I pay $500, and I was like, oh, well, out of mindset, right? And but after trying for I think it was 6-7 days, I was going on apps and I was just copying and pasting a message to everybody, trying to get as many people as I could.
Right.
I figured if I did that 100 times, 200 times, I would get at least one person that might be somewhat interested. And anyways, it did work. I'll be honest. It was definitely rookie marketing, and I don't recommend it. But I did end up getting somebody, I believe they live in Jersey or somewhere else, and they got my server. They signed up. I made $70, $80 the next day in my PayPal account. And now granted, keep in mind, I was working 18 to 20 hours a day. So for me, I felt like a millionaire. I was like, because it was my first money online that I didn't have to work a job. Now, granted, obviously it took a lot of hours for me to really kind of get my own thing. But I realized, okay, yeah, it might have took me 5 days, but what if I can learn how to make this every day? What if I can learn a way to figure out how to do this, obviously in shorter times, but multiple times a day, this and that, you know, I could be on a gold mine. And before you knew it, I started making YouTube videos. I didn't know how to rank videos. I didn't know how to do any SEO.
Right.
I stepped so out of my comfort zone. And if you even watch my videos from back in the day, I'll be honest, I was a little more fluffier from back in the day too.
Sure.
I was eating good, you know, put it that way. And anyway, so that's kind of really ultimately where I started. Like I said, I didn't know anything about this stuff. I was so, you know, what's the word? Green. You know, I was so fresh. Right. I was so new.
Yep.
And I did a little multi-level marketing shortly after that. Maybe 4 or 5 months later, I joined a company and I spent almost $2,000 to buy all their products because, you know, the slogan was, if you don't go all in, you're a wussy. So I was like, well, I'm certainly not going to be that. That's so funny. I spent more money I didn't have, but this was an educational platform for me to learn how to supposedly drive traffic to any business, not just what I'm promoting.
Right.
So I did that for about 18 to 20 months. I actually made like a good 5-figure income per month off that business. Now it didn't happen overnight, but maybe within 4 to 6 months, maybe 7 months, I went to an event. I connected with other people making 6 figures a month. And, you know, that motivated me. The event itself didn't motivate me. It was the connections that I built and getting myself around other people who are on the level that I want to be on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then from there, I got out after almost 18, 20 months. And I discovered the whole Amazon, eBay thing, drop shipping. Here we are now, 2019, you know, 5 years plus later. I still currently sell on Amazon myself. And I run a service for clients who want a passive stream of income, basically like property management, right? You pay property management, they collect the rent, they handle the repairs. It's like the same concept with my business model is that people pay me a fee for me and my team of almost 5 years now in Bangladesh to run an Amazon drop shipping store for them. They have to do a little initial setup, get things going. Once everything's set up, they can literally be pretty much almost hands off. And we run a passive business model for them. Because even up to this day, I used to teach drop shipping. And I probably just skipped that. But like after about a year and some change of doing the Amazon thing, I opened the doors. I started coaching, got hundreds of people. Now, again, it wasn't automated. It wasn't like my business model now. It was just basically teaching you one-on-one how to do it, how to make money. And I did that for a while. And I realized a lot of people made a lot of money. But I also realized a lot of people are just really busy, man. A lot of people don't have time to learn this. A lot of people don't have time to process 100 orders a day, 50 orders a day, handle customer service, email support. And then, you know, now the automation has been almost about a couple of years in the making, and it's here. And literally we're running over 300 current stores at the moment for other clients, and just a lot of happy people, man.
That's cool. So what are, you know, I think that's really interesting. So you talked about how, originally you were teaching, hey, here's how you do it. Here's how you build a store like mine, run it. Here's the day-to-days in that. And there's a percentage of people that want to know that. But what you found is there's a large percentage of people that don't really care about understanding all of the details. They just want the benefit from it. And they're willing to pay for that. Yeah. Right? So that's what, and you created a solution of, for the people who have more time, more money than time, and are willing to invest in themselves and then to their business to grow. Right. So
correct. And you'll be surprised how many people come to me. I mean, not all the people that buy my service. I mean, it's obviously not cheap, I'll be honest, but not all of them are investors. Not all of them are real estaters. Some people are just people who've been hustling for the last 3, 6, 7, 8 months, trying to grind, trying to hustle, whether they're flipping stuff off of eBay, flipping stuff Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, selling bottles of water on the street. Some of these people are really going above and beyond to be able to get the funds because of my proven track record of just how many people I've helped.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's definitely something. I mean, it'd be different to say anything different than obviously my service is, you know, just amazing, because it'd be biased to say anything different, right?
Of course. No, that's what you have to say. But your testimonials speak for it too. So what is like, let's drop a bomb here, a value bomb. What is one of the common mistakes that somebody makes when they are getting into Amazon dropshipping?
A lot of people don't know where to start. Like if they're trying to do it on their own, they don't know what suppliers to use. They don't know if they're ordering from China, AliExpress, Alibaba. They don't know the rules and the regulations of Amazon, because Amazon's a very, I'm not going to say fickle, but it's a tight website to sell on in terms of making sure that you keep your account metrics clean, making sure the customers are happy, because, a lot of people go on there and they don't buy coaching. They don't do anything. They think they can just do it themselves after watching a couple of YouTube videos. And then they come to me or people that I used to train, like, yeah, I got suspended. I don't even know what I just did, because you don't understand the business. It's like, yeah, you can learn anything from YouTube. You can do anything for free nowadays. You can change your oil in your car, but people still go to places to get it done, right? It's just like anything else. You don't need to pay for a trainer to train you to get in shape, but you still do, because that person has the expertise that you're looking for. Right. So it's like the same concept.
Accountability piece as well, right?
Correct. And so I think the common mistake is just not really, you don't know what you don't know, right? So people can learn it on their own 100%, just like anything else, but you risk running into way more problems. Maybe not the first day, second day, maybe not even first or second week. But 99% of people who try to do it on their own will end up quitting because they're running into too many problems. A lot of people don't have the heart to stick it out through all the BS and go through 1 to 3 years of trial and error.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, what are, give us a couple of success stories. Like what's some stuff that's happened really well for, either for you or for your clients as you guys have done this?
Well, I'll start with me just real quick. I guess this was kind of on the recent side. I recently, because of my own Amazon business, not because of my service itself, but because of my own Amazon stores that have been around passively making me money. I recently bought my mom, it was in probably, I believe May, because it was around my mother's birthday. My mother's been driving like a 2005 Ford Focus or something, and it was super old, a lot of mileage, had a lot of problems in the car. So, for my mom's birthday, my mom doesn't drive a lot, but I wanted to go out there and surprise her, and I bought my mom a new car.
Very cool.
2019 Subaru Forester. Now, keep in mind, my mom lives in like the Boston area. It snows. It's the weather out there. You get like 10 months and that's where I'm from. But you get like 10 months of maybe like winter, 2 months of summer. Yeah. So, and my mom's, in her 50s. My mom doesn't need a Lambo.
That's a perfect car for there. You don't need it. Yeah, that makes sense.
That car, honestly, again, like for me, I did just get a Rolls Royce recently, like back in April. And this car is almost a $500,000 car. And I got to tell you, this Subaru Forester has, in some sense, it's got the remote start. My car doesn't even have that. I'm like, what did I pay for? I'm about to go get a Subaru myself. Jeez. But the thing is, for me, like, it was an accomplishment. And I knew this car is going to last it's going to last my mom the rest of her life. You know what I mean? Especially the way she uses it and stuff like that. So it was an accomplishment. She was in tears. She was crying. She just had like ankle surgery not too long prior to that. And, ever since she's been able to drive it, like, I'm still even on her email from setting it up. And I get like emails all the time where she's remote starting it from inside of her house, like remote start successful. And it was just an accomplishment. And that was, to me, just a start of really where I want to go, because I'm actually looking at buying our house as well.
Nice.
Because I think when you're young, you just want to do everything that you can to give back to your parents and the people that pretty much are, raised you and helped you out. And so to me, that was a very most recent thing. That's, my business that's passive, paid for it, just paid for it. So she has no loan, she has no nothing, just bought a new car just because, again, it's something she needed, not just wanted. And then, of course, in my own success, the way that I've been living 7 years now free, not even talking about the materialistics, the Benz or the Rolls Royce that I just recently bought, like, 3-4 months ago. It's given me just a lot more time freedom, obviously, with my kids. I now have 2 kids, both with my same, my ex-wife, 15-month-old boy, and my daughter who just turned 7. And so it's given me just more time freedom with them. And it's given me a lot of stability, and my business has given me the opportunity to invest in other things like real estate properties and other things that I'm doing to keep trying to secure the future, for my kids.
Cool.
And so it's been a wild journey. And besides the fact that I just love to travel the world when I can, and when I don't have my kids, that, the ability to, hey, I want to go to Cali today. I want to go to New York. The fact, just book it and just go. And No, that's just amazing thing. The toys, the materialistic things have been great, but those were just little accomplishments to me. You know, the freedom is something that I've been wanting to make sure that I maintain since I've tasted some success in this industry.
Right.
It's just something that like I could never picture for me personally. I can't picture getting up at 5, 6 a.m. to get stuck in traffic and be told what to do anymore. Like, I don't remember that lifestyle. It wasn't for me. It wasn't in the cards for me. So, that's just a little bit. And besides that, my own clients alone, with my own service. I mean, I've had some of these people buy a new car, new Aston Martin. Some of these people are taking their family on trips to, Jamaica, and some of them are using it to invest in their own real, like one of my buddies, he lives up north too. And he's taking his family on trips, and he's taking some of the money to reinvest it back into his, he has a restaurant business up north.
Right.
He's taking some of the profits from that, throwing it into that restaurant to help it. So take some of the cost off his own expenses. So little things like that. And I mean, it's just,
that's not little things, man. Those are the big things when we're talking about creating, lifestyle design, and we're creating the life that we want. And so, and obviously, I always say that, money doesn't necessarily buy happiness, but money can buy time. And if you know how to spend your time in ways that bring you joy, then by extrapolation, money bought that happiness, right?
Yes, correct.
So that's what you're describing, is the ability for you to go places, to be location independent, to be able to support and help people that you love. It's not necessarily about the money. It's about the ability to do those things.
Correct. Money, a lot of people like to say, money doesn't buy freedom. And, money's not supposed, I don't think it's supposed to, or not freedom, happiness, should I say. Okay. But for me, happiness is an inside job. You have to be happy, obviously, within, of course. But if money's not supposed to buy happiness, poverty has never bought anything, at the end of the day. So for me, like, it was just, I definitely had to put, my head down. I had to get to work, especially when I started this journey. I worked a lot. I spent money I didn't have. I spent money I was willing to lose because, in any other business, any investment that you do, you have to be willing to understand, one, and think long-term. Everybody practices or preaches, have patience, think long-term. But not everybody, should I say, practices the whole being patient part of, when it comes to, running a business. So for me, this whole experience has just taught me a lot, right? It's cool. Takes about 3,650 days, I believe they said, to become an overnight success.
Sure.
So for me, to the levels that I've hit now and what I'm doing, clients, my own success, giving back to my own family and stuff like that, to be able to do that in 5 to 6 years, I just can't wait to see what the next 5 to 10 years it has in store. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. So what is, you said you love to travel. What's one place that you haven't been that you're going to go in the next 12 months?
Oh man. I was actually trying to go to Japan and China this month.
Oh yeah.
And then I realized, okay, you need to get your flight, then you need to have a place to stay, and then you need to get a visa, especially if you're going to be there for more than 5 or 6 days. I think there's temporary visas you can get to go to China. But that's one thing I wanted to do. I've been wanting to go to Croatia. I've been to Europe multiple times. Croatia's been on the list, and New Zealand. I mean, man, there's so many. But me and my ex-wife, we do share custody with the kids. So obviously I try to balance out my life with, us moving things around so that I can travel. I'll be honest with you. If I didn't have kids, I was texting my ex because she's going to be bringing my son here shortly. I just told her to just wait outside. But if I didn't have kids, you best believe I would probably live out of the country, and I would bounce every 3 to 6 months into a new location. Thailand, Bali, Costa Rica, Panama, whatever. And I would just consistently, that's just how my lifestyle would consist if I didn't have
totally
kids.
Get it. Yep.
So for me, I don't know, New Zealand, Switzerland, these are really good spots that I'm really trying to go as well. They just look beyond breathtaking, especially when you see
I'm going to connect you with my travel agent who will help you make sure you get to China here soon. Because China,
I heard it might be getting cold for China though soon. So I don't know if, I don't know when I don't know the seasons over there. So
yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Hey, really appreciate you coming out on the show. If anyone wants to learn more, go to TommyRodriguez.com or on Instagram, T-Rod. That's it's a short.
He actually pronounced it right. Most people pronounce it Trod because they don't know. They don't know.
Anyone that knows baseball knows to make it two syllables.
And of course, I appreciate you having me on here. And, anybody that obviously might be listening, are they watching it like in a video, or do they listen to it like on
both? Yeah. Most of the listeners are on iTunes, right? But people see it on YouTube and other places as well. So I'll make sure to link everything here for Tommy, so you guys can find him, learn more about what he does, how he broke 10 million by 30 years old, and everything he's doing to help people create lifestyle design in their own lives. So really appreciate you coming out. And thank you everybody for listening or viewing, or wherever you're watching. It's your turn to go out and do something.
Thank you for listening to BizNinja Entrepreneur Radio with Tyler Jorgensen. Please make sure to subscribe so you're first to hear new interviews and episodes. If you found this podcast to be valuable, please share it with a friend. Don't forget to visit our online dojo at bizninja.com to claim your reward for listening to the show.